Hi, this is Jim Abe again, your professor for Kinesiology 750, Athletic Training Pedagogical Studies. Probably should have done this at our first presentation, but we'll just have to make a go of it. So my name again is Jim Abe. I'm professor for our class, and in this particular presentation, I'm going to go over like the class requirements, what textbooks and those type of things, how to get in contact with me, our class schedule, and then some expectations that I have for you as a student in this class. Now, you see on this presentation, I have blacked out my phone number, cell number, and email. It's because this is going to be on YouTube. You can see this in the syllabus that you've hopefully have in front of you as we go through this information. And it's also in Moodle. Our class is a 6-week course. Started May 12th and will end Friday, June 20th. Again, this class is 100% online. My office hours, I'm not on campus during the summers. So the best way to contact me is going to be email. You can also use my cell. Send me a text if you like. And give me a call. I only think probably it would be best to start with an email, maybe set up a time for us to talk, because some days I am taking care of my kids during the day while my wife's at work. So some of those days, if you get a phone call, if I answer, you may hear kids screaming in the background. So I'll do my best to get back to you. If I don't answer, just leave me a voicemail, and I'll get back to you. Make sure you speak kind of slow when you give me your phone number. Most of the time now with cell phones, I can get your phone number off the phone when you call me. Anyways, I'm here to help. That's my goal, is to help you be successful in this class. As I described earlier, success to me is not you just earning a certain grade, is for you to learn, and it'll have a deep and meaningful impact on you down the road. So our course description, this is a little bit different than the previous course description for this class. I recently changed this. So what we're going to do is we're going to examine the teaching learning experience in the context of athletic training, higher education. The emphasis is placed on student motivation, student learning, student assessment, effective teaching methodologies, and curriculum and course design for the classroom, laboratory, and clinical settings. So I hope that's what we'll achieve in the 6 weeks. I've talked about the big questions previously. You can read those on your own. And I'm going to go down to our required books and stuff like that. So you have 2 books. The other, the Ken Baines, What the Best College Teachers Do. I hope you already have that, because going to need to start reading now. And then the Thomas Widener, I have a hard time saying that guy's name, The Athletic Trainer's Pocket Guide to Clinical Teaching. Excellent book. Dr. Widener, again, I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right, to him, excellent athletic trainer who's done a lot of research in clinical education. Got to hear him speak a couple years back at the Athletic Trainers Educators Conference. Just a fantastic person, a great resource. A lot of leaders in the athletic training education, and specifically to clinical education, wrote chapters in this book. So it's a great read, not too difficult to read. One thing I'll say about the athletic training book here, the way that the authors in those books support what they write with references is what I expect of you as a student in your formal assignments. When you turn in formal assignments, you should be supporting your information with evidence. This is called evidence-based academics. I don't know if that's a real term. Hopefully I made that up, and maybe I should go get that trademarked or something. But what I mean by evidence-based academics is that we support what we write with references, credible references. And I'll talk again about this in each one of our formal assignments. Now, I talked about the low risk assignments. You don't have to support what you're writing about in that. When you're writing, you're describing, discussing, analyzing material, you should be supporting it with references. If it's the assignment's asking you about personal things, you don't have to support your personal stuff with anything, because it's about you. So those are the main differences. This Fink thing here is not a book. I'll provide that in class. We use that in our course, but it is a requirement. But I'm providing that for you. Materials to assist your learning are just some journal articles or chapters from different books that I'll provide you to read and use in class. I've also have some materials that I'm referenced through the class. Again, you don't have to buy these. These are just for your own knowledge, that you know where I got some of the information. And we'll talk about the assignments later. I'm going to scroll down. I'm sorry that these syllabi are so long. All right, let's scroll down to the last pages or page in your syllabus to Appendix A. This is our class schedule, and it's tentative. I've struggled mightily with this class, designing it. This is a class that's been taught by somebody else before, so this is the first time I've taught it. And I've gone back and forth what to do with this class, and what I have decided to do is base the class on the chapters from our two main textbooks, the Bain book and the Widener book. So, and here we have the chapters for Bain, which is B, and Widener, which is W, and these are the assigned chapters. I expect each student to read each chapter that's assigned for each week, because there will be assignments based on the reading. And so we have the dates, what week we are in, the big questions that I'm trying to answer, we're trying to go over through this week. What's our topics for each of the weeks, the chapters, and the different assignments. So each week we'll have these type of things in there. So like we have, I didn't put the low risk assignments in here because they may change based on the responses I get from students, and then the responses I get from the assignments. I may make some changes in what I'm thinking about with doing those low risk assignments. Again, just trying to get some dialogue. So each one of these assignments that are here during that week, or typically these ones are going to be due that Sunday at 11:59 p.m. and some are going to be turned in to me, and some assignments will be turned in a form. I do have specific assignments for your choice assignments, which we'll talk about in a bit, and then the other assignments. I do reserve the right to change the schedule. I will let you know if I make any changes, and that brings me to my expectations for you as a student. And these expectations are here because I think these are the things that will help you be successful in this program. This is a 6-week course, and it's also a 3-week graduate course. That means you should expect to work at least 15 to 30 hours per week doing coursework. Now, how do I get that number? If we were in a face-to-face course, a 6-week on-campus class at Fresno Pacific University, we would meet 2 nights a week, 4 hours each night. So that's 8 hours right there. And for every 1 hour that you're in class, you're supposed to spend 3 hours doing something. So 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 is 24. So I'm lowballing it at 15 hours. So what are you going to be doing in 15 to 30 hours a week? Some of you already started. You've been listening to me talk, which I don't like to do in online courses. But at the beginning of the 6 weeks, I'm going to be spending more time talking and less time listening like I do in some of my other classes. And so some of the things you're going to be doing is listening to some lectures, reading those chapters, assigned chapters, reading some journal articles, responding to threaded discussions, and obviously writing papers. I think the way to be successful in this program is to do a little bit of work every single day so you don't get burned out by Saturday and try to do it all Saturday and Sunday. You'll never be that successful in this program. Remember, the goal is to learn, not to just earn a particular grade. Okay, it's to learn. I do want you to check your email on a daily basis during the week because I will communicate things to you via your email. And the third point here is log into Moodle. I do make class announcements in a class announcement form. I have set that up to go to your email. So you'll get email via that way. So I'll try to communicate any changes I do make or clarifications that I think that needs to be done through the course announcements and email. I do expect you to read those, and you're held accountable to those changes that I may make. I will open the class typically every Sunday morning before I go to church. So like next on the week 2, I'll have week 2 open by Sunday in the morning. And so you can see at least what you're up to for the next week, other than what's on the syllabus. In the assignment directions, I have tried to be very detailed with the assignment directions. That's one thing about teaching online that I've done over the years, is that I've tried to become more detailed on my assignments. Sometimes I'm clear, sometimes I'm not. So I'm going to go over to getting help in the class before I go to the form. If you have questions about the assignments in this class, or any questions about this particular class, I have set up a Q&A form. Those of you who have had me before know this. I've set up a question and answer form. First, post your question. Well, first look to see if anybody has posted that question in the Q&A form. Second, post your question if nobody else has. Post your question. I'll answer it very quickly because I'm on Moodle quite a bit. And if that still doesn't clarify, ask another question. And if that still doesn't work, that's the time that me and you need to talk on the phone. Again, try to set up in time that I can have dedicated time just to talk with you about that, just because I know this summer I'm going to be busy and very happily being a father and taking care of my girls and while my wife's at work. So, lastly, your forms. We're going to do quite a bit of forms in this class, so I consider forms class time. I expect you to treat this important. I expect you to treat others with respect. One thing I have in there, do not write, I like what you wrote. We want our discussions to be more detailed than that. So I'll have specific things that I want you to respond to in the forums. And lastly, if you got problems with Moodle, the help desk is there to help you, and there's their phone number. Also, if you have any problems with Moodle, you can read all these university policies on your own. My next video, I'm going to have a couple different videos because I'm going to go over the main assignments. I have a couple of them grouped together, so I'll try to do that, try to provide some clarity on our assignments.